Carroll, and they held on 41-38. The defense, Pike County Central late in the game, seconds to go, they had a fourth down and just probably a foot to go, and the Betsy Lane defense, they rise to the occasion. They make the big stop, and they win the ball game. Now that has thrown the district into disarray.
Complete chaos. How about that?
We know Belfry's number one, Shelby Valley number two. The other three, one's going to be left out, and we don't know who that is until after Friday night's game. We get into that old RPI. And so each of those teams, East Ridge, Betsy Lane, and Pike Central, if Pike Central had won, it had been pretty simple. They'd have been the 3 seed and East Ridge the 4 seed, but not to be. So going to be a three-way battle for those two spots. And like I say, after Friday night's game, we'll be able to tell you the winner of those and move on. Knott County continues to have a great season, 38-36. Flory County Central almost able to pull that out, not able to do it, coming up a little short, not having a great year.
What a great game. You could have watched that on with our friends over at WPRG.
Yeah,
Keith
great.
Mays have an unbelievable game. He'll be featured in our Next Up series. Passed for over 330 yards. Ronnie, Wesley Buck, 10 catches, 125 yards, almost came back, but not held on.
Both of them are sophomores.
Absolutely. What do you think about the RPI?
I've got misgivings about it. I would rather do it on the field some way, head-to-head competition, point spread between the three games. I would rather do it that way myself. But they're not going to change the rule for us. But the RPI is going to really make it interesting. Another game, a defensive game, Pikeville 24-6 over Hazard. Pikeville gets the number one seed in their district. They defeated Paintsville the week before that. So Pikeville will be the number one seed. And Johnson Central, not surprised they won. I say that a lot. 35-0 over a very good Ashland Tomcat team. Johnson Central undefeated.
How good is, honestly, how good is Ashland? Think about that. Johnson Central, I'm sorry, now they went to Corbin and won.
Yes.
Then they defeated Ashland handily. They've really not had
handled Belfry pretty easy early in the year. I think it's 48-20, 46-20. So Johnson Central, I think Prestonsburg and in our viewing area, Johnson Central, Prestonsburg, the only undefeated teams left.
Yeah, wow.
And then Lawrence County, they continue rolling on 55-12 over John DeVossett's McGoffin County Hornets. And then the game last week, and they didn't disappoint. Congratulations both to Prestonsburg, Martin County, to putting on quite a show. Prestonsburg wins it 36-30. They get the number one seed. Martin County gets their second loss. Prestonsburg still undefeated.
Oh, absolutely. It lived up to the hype, right?
Yes.
And you had another unbelievable performance by Kane Patton.
Yeah.
And Devin Maynard. Devin Maynard didn't disappoint either. 270 yards through the air.
Wow.
100 yards on the ground. But Kane Patton, again, just 15 carries, 189 yards, and a couple TDs. That's a nice night at the office, isn't it?
Yeah, that game was at Martin.
Yeah.
That was 36-30. Congratulations to the Prestonsburg Black Cats as they win that district. And then a game, Corbin 47-13 over Perry County. That's a team in their area. Perry County having a tough year. And then I want to talk about the Phelps Hornets. I'm telling you, 30-24 over Hurley, Virginia. Reese Norman, the quarterback, threw a 41-yard touchdown pass. Ethan Fields, running back, 2 touchdowns. And then Michael Victoriano, he's on my own name team.
Yeah.
Had several yards rushing, but this is not the reason we're mentioning Mr. Victoriano. 21 tackles.
21.
I don't care what league you're playing in.
I sit there and I do the graphics, Ronnie, and I'm going through and I'm looking for a defensive player. And I'm not knocking our friends at Phelps, but sometimes they're a little slow on putting the stats in. So I had already conceded it to the young man from Betsy Lane who had 19 tackles. And then I clicked over to Phelps and I went 21 tackles. He's got to be the defensive player. We've not released it. I'm still waiting on photo clearance. I will not put a photo out that I don't have approval to do.
Sure.
I just won't do it.
Absolutely.
These photographers work too hard, and I want to make sure they get all the credit they deserve. So
Phelps having a great year. I think this is the third or fourth straight win.
Yes.
And they wrap up their season Thursday night, and that'll be the last game of the year for Phelps. Looking at games ahead this week, the game we will cover Friday night, from Shelby Valley High School, Harlan County, a 5A school. The Black Bears come calling on Shelby Valley. Black Bears having a good year, 6-3. Shelby Valley 4-5 on the year, coming off a disappointing loss to Belfry. Should be an interesting game. I will say this just because, and I don't do that often, size of the school and probably depth, I will go with the Black Bears in that, but my heart's with Shelby Valley, and hopefully they can pull it out. Shelby Valley, Jonah Bartley and Company, and Bryce Bentley, Elijah Blackburn, Lincoln Taylor, having a good year. They've righted the ship after some early season losses and some adjustments they had to make, and we talk about that every week. They've done a terrific job getting everything straightened out.
I agree. And then our friends with PRG will be at Prestonsburg covering Estill County. That's another big game, Ronnie. A chance to remain undefeated for the Black Cats.
I pick Prestonsburg to get that win over Estill County. Estill County is a good ball club. Estill County is a good team. Will Prestonsburg have a letdown after the big win over Martin County? But
that's the fear. But I don't know, man. That team right now, they're built different.
They want the undefeated season, don't you? When you have a chance and it's within your grasp, you want it. We've got Belfry at Letcher. Should be an entertaining game. I think a lot of points will be scored in that game. Letcher Central 6-3, led by their outstanding quarterback, Gunnar Holbrook. But I'm going with the Pirates. I think they'll end the regular season 9-1.
Well, I do too. I mean, Belfry's just, I used the term earlier, built different. They're built different.
Yeah,
right? They're just at a different level than the rest right now. Senior-led team, they're going to be tough.
East Ridge is at Harlan. The Green Dragons, not the Black Bears. East Ridge and Coach Burdine, and they're going to get another win. East Ridge will take care of business at Harlan.
Yeah, I think so too. And hats off to East Ridge, man. They have played really well. I know people say, look at the record. Listen, they've been in a lot of games.
You want to talk about Talon Jordan, and he's a real deal. But you throw in Ratliff and Aggins and Sloan, they've got a good ball club.
Yeah, they really do, and it'll be interesting to see how that seeding falls out. But if they pick up the win, and I think they can over Harlan, that'll help them in the RPI as well.
Okay, another game we're looking at, Martin County at Paintsville. Paintsville, a good ball club. I think they're maybe 5-4 on the year.
Yeah.
Will Martin County have a letdown? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I'm still going to go with Martin County in that game over Paintsville at Paintsville.
Yeah, I'm going Martin. I agree. I think Martin County. I'm a huge Devin Maynard fan. Let me tell you, man. I love his game. I love the way he plays. Absolutely. He is a example of a dual threat quarterback.
Sure. And then another game we have, Fleming County's at Floyd County Central. Floyd County Central having a tough year. They've had a lot of near misses.
Oh, that's another team.
Yeah, but very young. Ketron Mays, a sophomore. Wesley Buck, a sophomore. Good things are ahead for Floyd County Central.
I agree. I think they can get the win over Fleming.
A team you don't hear a lot about. They're 6-3 on the year, but they're a good ball club. They've made some deep runs in the playoffs recently. Bracken County comes to Pikeville. I'm going to go with the Panthers in that game, but Bracken County's a good team.
Well, it just helps. It helps Pikeville, but they play a tough schedule, and that's the difference. When they get into the postseason, they're tested. They're ready.
Yes.
You've seen it a lot of times. Teams play. I hate to use the word cupcakes, but they play
It's a fact.
They play a cupcake schedule, and then they get beat out in the first first round. They said, well, but what happened? Well, you got to take your lumps early on, in my opinion. Play a tough schedule. You don't want to play one that you're going to lose every game either. You got to have a victory.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think they'll beat the.
J.J. Reynolds at quarterback. The junior stepped in, done a good, terrific job replacing 3-year starter Isaac Duty. Then they got the Jaden Justice as a running back, and then they got 3 wide receivers that just about. Like I said, I think they got the best wide receiving tandem. Cole Sloan, Mikey Hager, Harrison Fields, a very, very good receiving core. Powerful gets the win over Berkeley County. Leslie County comes to Betsy Lane. And Coach Jared Gerald at Betsy Lane and his son Eli Gerald and company, they get the victory over Leslie County, I think.
I think so. You know, I said it last week. I tell all those Betsy Lane fans they need to just be patient because, again, you've got a very young squad led by a freshman. You know, a freshman quarterback. You got freshman receiver in Lincoln Hamilton who's having a great year. Yeah, you do have some senior pieces, but they're still young too. And they've just got to get that defense to where they're not giving up so many points. It's hard to outscore your opponent, and I know that Harley's working on that, but they're going to get there. I really, truly believe that. And they had 2 great defensive performances by 2 of their players, Mason Hall and Grant Tackett. Both of them are featured up on their Big Nights.
And then again, Perry County Central travels to Ridgeview, Virginia. I'm going with Ridgeview, Virginia in that game. Pike County Central, I think they go to Powell County. I'm not sure on that game. But anyway, Pike County Central, I think, gets another win over Powell County.
What?
I've not heard about Cameron Smith, their outstanding freshman running back. He was hurt in their game. It looked like a serious injury, but I've not gotten an update. To see, you know, what I'm saying is his availability.
But what a performance by Lane Adams.
Oh, Lane Adams was terrific.
Lane Adams, 233 yards on the ground.
Yes.
I mean, he had an unbelievable night. And you know, you say it all the time. You hate to see somebody lose.
Yeah, I agree.
You did. You just knew whoever had the ball last was going to win that one. And it came down to a great 4th down stop by the Bobcats.
Well, that's our high school games, the recap and the preview. We're going to step out, and when we come back, we'll talk about our NFL season as you're listening to the All Access on the Appalachian Prep Sports Network.
In life's hardest moments, you deserve comfort and care. At Hall & Jones Funeral Home, we guide you with compassion, honoring your loved one with dignity and respect. From traditional services to meaningful celebrations, we're here for you every step of the way. Hall & Jones Funeral Home, where every goodbye is filled with love.
Back pain, stiff neck, or everyday aches that keep you from living the life you love. At Hall Chiropractic, we provide gentle, personalized care to help you move better, feel better, and live better. Whether it's pain relief, better mobility, or overall wellness, our team is here for you. Don't wait. Call Hall Chiropractic today and get back to what matters most. Hall Chiropractic. Your health, your life, aligned.
At Valley Discount Pharmacy, we're more than just prescriptions. We're your neighbors. Whether you need affordable medications, expert advice, or just a friendly face, we're here for you every step of the way. Fast service, trusted care, and prices that won't break the bank. Valley Discount Pharmacy, local, reliable, affordable.
Welcome back, everyone, to the APSN Network. We're reminding everyone we're coming to you from the Shelby Valley Diner. Nothing could be finer than eating at the Shelby Valley Diner, and we're evidence of that. Whatever you want, wings, burgers, tater tots, mozzarella cheese, great pizza. We've had a variety. They got the daily specials every day. I remember Mondays for sure. That's country fried steak and gravy. It is great. So, but they got lasagna one day, meatloaf one day, chicken and dumplings one day, pork chops on Fridays.
Yeah, wow. Sounds like you eat here a little bit, Ronnie. Is that what it is?
A few times.
A couple times, maybe.
Oh, looking at a disheartening, if you're a Bengals fan, looking at a disheartening NFL weekend. Recap some of the games. Packers, which is I would say is probably my favorite NFC team. Packers defeated the Steelers 35-25. Great job, Jordan Love over Aaron Rodgers. The Broncos, a big win. I thought that would be a close game, but the Broncos just rout the Cowboys 44-24. Colts, my surprise team of the year, 38-14 over the Titans. The Bucks in a snoozer, 23-3 over New Orleans. New Orleans switching quarterbacks this week. Philadelphia Eagles 38-20 over the New York Giants. The Patriots, another surprise team. Mike Rabel doing a great job there. 32-13, they defeat the Cleveland Browns. The Chiefs, they've rided the sheep. I know a lot of people out there are Chiefs haters and don't like Malone, don't like Mahomes and Kelce or whatever. But the Chiefs, a big 28-7 win over Washington, and they are really clicking right now.
Oh, absolutely. We wrote them off,
0-2.
2 weeks in the season, and here they come.
Texans with a 27-15 win over the 49ers. I'm not a 49ers fan, but I don't think any team has been affected by the injuries like the 49ers. They have really been decimated. The Bills, a big win. They had lost 2 straight. The Buffalo Bills get a 40-9 win over Carolina. The Chargers 37-10 over the Vikings. The Ravens finally get a win, 30-16. Don't count the Ravens out. I picked him for the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson comes back this weekend. And I hate to say it, I'm not a Ravens fan, but I think the Ravens still make the playoffs. The Dolphins, a game surprised me. I picked Atlanta. That was at Atlanta. And the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa had a great game. They win big, 34-10 over Atlanta. And then the last one. And it breaks my heart to give it to you. I mean, Bengals up 38-24. I'm not picking them again. I don't care if they're playing Mud Hat Rockets. Just makes me. I mean, you would be 4-4 and a half a game behind the Steelers for first place without Burrow. But they lose 39-38. Now, let me give you folks a couple stats. Sometimes are overdone, but not in this case. The New York Jets. Now, Thomas hadn't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Hadn't scored a touchdown. They had over 500 yards against the Bengals, put up 39 points. And I said at the first show we had on the All Access, I said the Bengals, I think I used I said the Bengals will win some games 40-35, and they will lose some games 40-35. 39-38. I'm like someone said on ESPN, this loss will leave a mark. I mean, it's just devastating. Jets had not, in case you don't keep that up with football that much, 0 wins coming into this game. On the road, playing the Bengals. Now, let me give you a couple other stats. The Bengals give up over 500 yards. There's 32 teams in the NFL. The Bengals are last in yards allowed per game, 32nd.
Wow.
They are last in points allowed. They are 32nd. They are last 32nd in rushing yards per game. There's no way you can advance. There's no way, and I just don't see them improving. It's not like they're waiting on a key defensive player to come back. They just sit back, and they just sit back in that nickel defense. They blitzed twice in that game. Hey, blitz. They may throw a bomb, throw it over here, but at least you got a chance. You may sack him. They blitzed twice, Thomas Rainey, in that game, twice.
So they got a bunch of all pros on defense. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh my God! But anyway, a heartbreaker, 39-38. The Bengals dropped to 3-5. They're a game and a half. They theoretically still in it, but unless they make some changes defensively, I don't think it makes any difference if Joe Namath comes back, Joe Burrow comes back, Tom Brady, the quarterback. if they don't do something defensively.
Well, they definitely got to work. I mean, they've got to change because you're right. You know, it was so heartbreaking to watch. I was actually watching that game and just to see
Oh,
it,
me
it was
too.
it was just heartbreaking.
So look ahead at this schedule this week. A lot of games on tap that'll be very interesting. The Ravens go to the Dolphins. I'm going with the Ravens in that game. Lamar Jackson will be back. 49ers travel cross country to the Giants. That'll be a close game, but I will go with the 49ers. The Vikings travel to Detroit. I think Detroit's one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the league. Lions get that win. Chargers travel to Tennessee. Poor old Titans. They've won 1 game. They've already fired their coach. Chargers get that win. Falcons go to the Patriots. Falcons ought to be mad after losing at home 34-10 to the Dolphins, but I'm going to go with the Patriots in that game. Colts at the Steelers. My heart's with the Colts, but the Steelers will get the win at home.
Yeah, I think
but that'd be
so.
a good game.
Yeah, I think it will.
And the Bears at the Bengals, and I am proud to say I'm going with the Bears. I'm going with the Bears.
You
the
give
Bengals had everything in front of them. I mean, they were 3 and 4 had a chance to get a win. They had Chicago, which is a very winnable game. Both of these at home. That's what gets you a little irritated. But I'm going to go with the Bears over the hapless Bengals. Broncos and the Texans. Denver a lot better than I thought they were. They'll get the win. That'll be a great game, though. Tough to win at Houston. Saints and the Rams. The Rams have been really impressive. Their quarterback, Matt Stafford, leads the league in touchdowns, and the Rams will get that win. Carolina goes to my Packers, and I think the Packers will get the win at home. Chiefs and the Bills. Bills are playing at home. Most people will go with the Bills. I hope Buffalo wins. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I would too. They're hot right now, man.
I think
they
the
look
Chiefs-
like a different ball team
they
than
do.
early in the year.
They got some. No, they did get some injured players back. They are clicking on all cylinders now. The Chiefs to beat the Bills at Buffalo. Jaguars, they were disappointing last week. They go to the Raiders. Jacksonville's got the better record, but I'll say this. I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders in this game. Seahawks go to the Commanders. Seahawks get the win on the road. Cardinals play host to the Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys get the win in that game. Now turning our attention to the baseball. It's been a very entertaining World Series. I've watched most of it. The series is tied 2 games apiece. Had the big 18-inning game the other night. Freddie Freeman hits a home run to win it. But they'll play it again tonight. The series will definitely go back to Toronto regardless of tonight's game. And Toronto would have the last 2 games at home. But it's been a very entertaining World Series.
I agree. I think it has been very entertaining. I was expecting the Dodgers just to run away with it.
I did too. I picked them in 5.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. So I may still get the Dodgers right, but it's not going to be 5 games. It's going to go
think you're right.
at least 6. But anyway, tonight it's going to be Snell against Savage for Toronto on the mound. And it's always worth, and I'm not a Shohei Ohtani fan, but he is just he's a, I don't know what you want to call him, a freak, a pitcher, a hitter. Got on base 9 times in that one game, in the extra inning game. 4 hits and 5 walks, 4 of them intentionally or whatever. 2 weeks ago, I had a question for you, for everybody tuning in. I said, are there any hockey fans around here? I never got a response, which I didn't think I would. I don't think there is any hockey fans out here. And last week I asked about NASCAR. NASCAR used to be so big in this area.
Oh, yeah.
And
A ticket to Bristol was like gold.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they are down to the last race of the year. The championship will be Sunday at Phoenix. 4 drivers have a chance. William Byron, Lawson, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Briscoe. You got 2 Hendrick drivers in Byron and Lawson, and you got 2 Joe Gibbs racers in Hamlin and Briscoe. I wouldn't care to see either one of those 3 win besides Hamlin, because simply he's won it before. So I'd like to see one of these other guys get it. Really wouldn't mind every which one of those other 3 would win. My question tonight, I was talking about earlier, NBA has started. We're a week into the season. I just wonder, and I think there is. I think there's some NBA interest in this area, Thomas, and I'll tell you why. 30 ex-UK players on the roster.
Yeah, I agree.
I will. I don't watch a whole game, but if it's late in the fourth quarter, I'll turn it on. If there's a UK player, I will watch it or whatever. I root for Oklahoma City, and I'm not a latecomer. The reason is not because they won the NBA, but they've got, I think, 3 Kentucky players on the roster, so.
But listen, are they going through a PR nightmare right now with the gambling scandal?
Oh, absolutely. And if you're thinking they have caught the only gambling incident in the NBA or whatever, you're kidding yourself. They had it a few years ago with the referee Tim Donaghy.
Yeah.
Betting on games. Listen, I put nothing past on the NBA gambling. I think there's leaks about injured players. I think the bettors in Las Vegas are involved all the way up to their from their toes to the top of their heads. They'll get information on who's playing. LeBron James is not playing tonight. They lower the point spread, and I think it's only a tip of the iceberg what they found. But the NBA, just like the Major League Baseball, they covered the Ohtani thing over. They made the interpreter take the fall. Ohtani bet $16 million. Said, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, hey, folks, listen, give us a break. $16 million. Even I've missed $16 million. But you didn't hear about it, did you?
No.
It went away.
It sure
and
did.
this NBA will go away quickly. The NBA say we have punished. We have done it. We have taken care of these things, and don't be ridiculous. It's if you watch a game and you look late in the game and you say, "Wow, that team got every call in the last 3 minutes." Ruh-roh, you don't. Maybe not every game, but don't be surprised if money's exchanged hands. But
Absolutely.
but I think there are some NBA fans in that, and I'll watch later on in the year when it gets into the playoffs and deep, but I'm just not a big NBA fan.
I'm going to completely switch gears on you. You ask if there's any NBA fans. Listen, I'm going to tell you, soccer fans. Ronnie, we covered the Elite 8 soccer game Saturday at Stonecrest. Probably, I'm guessing, in the neighborhood of 500 people there. Kind of shocked me with that many. But what really, between Facebook and YouTube, 4,000 people watched that game.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I saw some of our guys on here. Tegan Sloan's on. He's watching. Thank you, Tegan, and some of the others. Listen, hated
Fantastic.
to see the season in for those guys, but not too many teams, Ronnie. I don't care what sport you can say you made it to the Elite 8.
Excellent point, Tom. Congratulations to Coach Sloan and his son, Tegan Sloan. Congratulations to a fantastic year. Let me tell you, we were all Prestonsburg Black Cat fans Saturday. They come up short, I think, 5-0. Was that Covington Catholic?
Yeah, Covington
Catholic. A team with 32 players on the roster.
Listen, they're good. I mean, I'm not just saying that. I don't know a whole lot about soccer, but I know good when I see good. They were pretty good. So got a good chance of winning.
Well, that's going to take care of our NBA. That's going to take care of our NFL part of the show. Reminding everyone, you'll listen to All Access on the APSN Network. We're going to step away, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk college football and the UK coaching situation. We'll be back in a moment as you listen to All Access on the Appalachia Prep Sports Network.
At Shelby Valley Diner, every bite is made to satisfy. Crispy, saucy wings, made just the way you like them. And don't miss our daily specials, fresh and delicious, giving you something new to love every single day. Pizza, wings, and specials you can't resist. Only at the Shelby Valley Diner. Shelby Valley Diner, where flavor meets family. So come hungry, leave happy. At Valley Discount Pharmacy, we're more than just prescriptions. We're your neighbors. Whether you need affordable medications, expert advice, or just a friendly face, we're here for you every step of the way. Fast service, trusted care, and prices that won't break the bank. Valley Discount Pharmacy, local, reliable, affordable.
In life's hardest moments, you deserve comfort and care. At Hall & Jones Funeral Home, we guide you with compassion, honoring your loved one with dignity and respect. From traditional services to meaningful celebrations, we're here for you every step of the way. Hall and Jones Funeral Home, where every goodbye is filled with love.
All right, Ronnie, we are back here at the Shelby Valley Diner.
Great food, as you can see in front of us, what's left of it. Want to remind everyone you're listening to APSN along with our friends on WPRG.
Yep.
And glad to have them with us and whatever. College football, which I love college football. Talking about there's never been job openings. And we were talking today, used to you got a 5-year contract. But that's when you were making $1.2 million a year.
Yeah.
Thomas, when you're making 10, 11, or 12 million a year, you don't have a 5-year period. The boosters, no patience or whatsoever. It is a changed game. Now, you ready for a stat now here?
I'm ready.
There's already in fired coaches 168 million in buyouts. 168. These athletic directors don't have a clue. I'm telling you. Some of these athletic directors, how they keep their job. The one at LSU is the same one that fired Jimbo Fisher and owed him $75 million. Now he owes Brian Kelly $49 million. I know the governor in Louisiana is upset with him, but you think about that. Of just 9 or 10 coaches that's fired, 168 million now owed to walk away.
Well, now 168 million is a lot. I'm not saying it's not. I agree with you.
Excuse me.
Also alarming is 9 coaches have already been fired this season. You used to never hear a coach getting fired
During the
week
season.
3 or 4. You know, it was always at the end of the year. We're going to clean house. We're going to get rid of all these coaches. Now you're right. The patience is wearing thin, and it's because the money they're getting paid.
Absolutely. You know, here was interesting. Penn State lost in overtime to Oregon, and they were talking about this may be one of the greatest Penn State teams ever. He loses 2 more games to UCLA and Northwestern, and he's out.
Yeah.
That's a 2-week period.
Yeah, it's just the whole NIL and coach's salary has changed the landscape of college athletics from what we're used to seeing.
When they spend $22 million a year, these boosters, they're not going to accept below 500 or not making the playoffs.
You're exactly right. Especially if you're one of those elite premier teams in that sport.
Let me tell you some of you talk about jobs. Some of the jobs that are open right now, LSU, which is probably the best, Penn State.
That's not a bad
Florida.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, UCLA, Oregon State, Oklahoma State. There's more than that, but those are just absolute great jobs that people used to, just would love to have.
But
now,
the one you don't hear on that list is what?
University of Kentucky.
Wow.
I was listening to Matt Jones on his KSR, and I disagree with this. He said a week ago or 2 weeks ago, he thought it was 45-55 at Stoops would be back. He said now he's 85 to 90% that he'll be gone. I don't buy that. I'm not that high. I'm not saying he won't be, but I'm not an 85 to 90% guy. Now, that's what Matt Jones says. And he also said this, and I don't buy that. I don't think so in Kentucky's case, but he says one of these are not going to come out alive. Auburn and Kentucky this weekend. He said if Auburn wins, Stoops may get the word he's out. If Kentucky beats them, Freeze will definitely be out at Auburn. So he said one of these is not going to survive. I disagree with this, but I will say this. I think if Kentucky were to upset Auburn at Auburn, I think Hugh Freeze would be relieved the next day or two.
I do too.
Now, I want to tell you some names people say, and get used to these names. One of them or two of them you know. But these are people that's going to get these jobs to where you say, where's this guy getting these names from? Remember these names because they are hot commodities. Now, the NCAA college football world right now belongs to one Lane Kiffin at Mississippi. My understanding is Ole Miss going to do everything they can to retain him. Florida wants him. LSU wants him. He is the top forerunner for the LSU job. But Kiffin's done a tremendous job. Now, the Florida job, they say there's two guys. People are going to say, who is that? Eli Drinkwitz. Who is that? Head coach at at Missouri.
Yeah.
They say he is the top, along with John Summerall from Tulane, the ex-UK player and coach. Now, online, you get online and look at some of the posts. A lot of people are upset with Barnhart for not firing Stoops and then reaching out to Summerall before he takes another job. Now, if Drinkwitz doesn't get the Florida job, I think John Summerall will.
Yeah.
In case you don't know John Summerall, you're saying, who is that? Former player at UK, assistant at UK, head coach at Torrey State, head coach now at Tulane, has won everywhere he's went. He's got a tough demeanor. I mean, he looks the part. He talks the part of a football coach. His name is really, really high out there for a great job, and he will get one. He'll not be at Tulane next year. He'll be at Florida, Kentucky, somewhere else, but he will not be at Tulane. Some other names. See if you remember this name, Nick Saban.
Oh, yeah.
But
you
now,
get a little bit of Alabama, right? Just a little bit.
You know, they're saying that the probability, and I don't think so either. Do I know? Certainly not. But they said if there's one job, and he coached there before, that might interest him would be the LSU job. But I can't see Saban. I just can't see it happening. Dan Lanning, head coach at Oregon, got a great situation there. He's a former coach, assistant at Georgia. Dan Lanning could have one of these jobs if he wanted it. Penn State, whatever. Will Stein, that's the number 2 choice for me to be the coach at UK if John Summerall not. People say, who's Will Stein? They're going to say, where's this guy get these names? I think he would be vetted, interviewed. He's a former quarterback at Louisville, played at Trinity or St. X. I'm not sure which one. Assistant coach, he's an offensive coordinator for Oregon in that high-powered offense. Remember the name, Will Stein, but he's from this area.
Yeah.
And then Drinkwitz, I think he'll leave Missouri. And I tell you another hot name out there right now, and he's done a terrific job at Purdue and now at Louisville, Jeff Brom.
Yeah.
I think I don't know that he'll leave Louisville. I would think not. That's his hometown. But if he wanted another job and a higher profile job, I've heard his name bannered about a lot. You know, people are talking about how good a coach he is. 2 other names. Brent Key from Georgia Tech, they're undefeated. And what a job Clark Lee has done at Vanderbilt. I mean, Vanderbilt in the top 10 in the country, back-to-back weeks. They beat LSU and they beat Missouri. Clark Lee, but he's a former player at Vanderbilt. I think he stays at Vanderbilt. Brent Key is a former player at Georgia Tech. I think he stays there. Both of them get big, big raises. One last name. You never know, like if Kentucky did part ways with Stoops, to where this guy wouldn't be. Tennessee, you know, you never heard of Josh Heupel. He was at South Florida. The head coach there is named Alex Golesh. Done a terrific job. He's on the boards. So you're going to say maybe 2 months from now, Kentucky's named Alex Golesh. They're going to say, who is that? First time I remembered that was on the APSN. But anyway, Alex Golesh. But a game last week doesn't surprise me. They own us. I hate when they call it a border rivalry. A rivalry is when I think either team can win.
Competitive.
You got to be competitive. 56-34, it wasn't close. The only ray of hope for us was Cutter Boley 5 touchdown passes. Looked very good. My son said he needs to transfer. I said, can you imagine what this guy would do behind a line like Penn State or LSU or whatever? And I think he could get some attention from those schools. And that's what I hate about the transfer portal. Kentucky has a dynamic freshman receiver, Miller. Where's number 7? He is going to be like Barry Brown, who left for LSU and Dane Key went to Nebraska, I don't think they'll be able to retain him. He puts on a show, and the LSU's and the Penn State see him and said, we need this Miller guy from Kentucky. And he's only a freshman. Boy, what a future he'd have
Well, and it's
if
all
he
about
stayed.
the money.
All about the money.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Somebody will offer him a lot of NIL money, and he'll be there.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Thomas. Do you think Stoops will be back next year?
No.
You
this
sound
is
like
it. This is it. He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's. I think it's a lot like Cal. The last year Cal was there, I think he's. I hate to use the word war. He's welcome out, so to
Right.
speak. It's time. He did a good job for a while, but I think we're settling back into mediocrity.
Old days, yeah.
You
I
know?
agree with you. He had a nice run, and I think the NILs against Kentucky, I don't think that they can get I'm not saying they wouldn't be willing to spend the money, but if Alabama's offering you $1.4 million and Kentucky's offering you $1.4 million,
You're going to Alabama.
you're going to Alabama. That's just the way it is. We get the benefit of it in basketball.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But I think that's why you mentioned Saban. I don't think Saban will come back because Saban.
No, I don't think so
I think
either. I
that
don't-
was the frustration of why he left.
I agree with that, Thomas. I agree. We got 4 or 5 quick games we'll talk about here real quick. Kentucky goes to Auburn. I like the Tigers at home. Texas, boy, they've lucked out the last 2 weeks against Kentucky and Mississippi State. Texas at Vandy, that's my upset. I always pick one upset. Mm-hmm. Whoever thought Texas over Vanderbilt would be an upset? But it's at Vandy.
And Vandy's playing well.
Playing well, but I'm going with Texas. And then you got Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State are romping that one. Florida at Georgia. Florida will be angry. Let me tell you, the first game without the coach, they'll come out and they'll play hard, but they'll lose to Georgia.
Yeah.
Ole Miss at South Carolina. If South Carolina's got anything in the tank left, man, they had Alabama down. Alabama scores 15 points in the last 2 minutes to pull it out. I'm going with Ole Miss. And then Oklahoma at Tennessee, I'm going with the Vols in that one. So that's my picks. If you got any comments on that, by all means, let us know at the APSN Network. And that's going to take care of our college football segment. With that, we're going to step out and we'll be back with more. As you're listening to All Access with our friends from WPRG on the APSN Network. We'll be back in just a few moments.
In life's hardest moments, you deserve comfort and care. At Hall and Jones Funeral Home, we guide you with compassion, honoring your loved one with dignity and respect. From traditional services to meaningful celebrations, we're here for you every step of the way. Hall and Jones Funeral Home, where every goodbye is filled with love.
Back pain, stiff neck, or everyday aches that keep you from living the life you love. At Hall Chiropractic, we provide gentle, personalized care to help you move better, feel better, and live better. Whether it's pain relief, better mobility, or overall wellness, our team is here for you. Don't wait. Call Hall Chiropractic today and get back to what matters most. Hall Chiropractic. Your health, your life, aligned.
At Valley Discount Pharmacy, we're more than just prescriptions. We're your neighbors. Whether you need affordable medications, expert advice, or just a friendly face, we're here for you every step of the way. Fast service, trusted care, and prices that won't break the bank. Valley Discount Pharmacy, local, reliable, affordable.
All right, Ronnie, we are back here getting ready. Final segment. Talk a little more high school. It's volleyball season. It's
Absolutely.
regional tournament time. Man, oh man, you can check out the highlights. Our good friends down at WPRG been down there all week taking highlights. Semifinals was tonight. It was Shelby Valley defeating
Floyd Central.
Floyd Central. Yep, defeated Floyd Central, and the nightcap is still going on. I haven't got an update on it. It is Paintsville taking on Betsy Lane. Great to see 258 district teams in there. And
yes.
Floyd Central. You know, we said all year. I said there was 5 teams that I really thought. Now I said I didn't see Johnson Central enough to put them in that 5, but Ronnie, I said I always thought Shelby Valley and Paintsville was a little bit 1 and 1A.
Sure.
I called them all year long. Then I thought 2. I thought 3. I thought was Pikeville. Just so happened Pikeville had to match up with Paintsville in the first round. Then I always said Betsy Lane and Floyd Central was the next 2.
You got it.
Look here, we're not too far off.
No.
As you got to see those 4 of those 5 teams were in the semifinals. Shelby Valley, I don't know if the last game of the night's still over with, but it should be. The championship game is tomorrow. So get down to Paintsville and watch a great championship game.
I think Shelby Valley owned 2 victories over Paintsville. But then Paintsville comes in and gets the route. I mean, well, I don't.
No,
they
it
won
was.
all. They
Yeah.
won all.
It
All
wasn't.
3 sets.
Yeah.
And that's throwed it into where that will be, if it works out that way. Now Betsy Lane might have something to say about that tonight.
We're still
But
waiting on that
Still
final
waiting on
score.
that score, but. Regardless, Shelby Valley, Betsy Lane, or Shelby Valley and Paintsville should be a terrific championship night.
Yep, I agree. And just so happened, already looked ahead. The state first round, the 15th region will host the 14th region. So whoever wins the 15th region hosts the 14th region in the first round of the Sweet 16 volleyball.
Yeah, you stand away from the Louisville schools and the Sacred Hearts and the Mercies and
Yeah.
those which are just powerhouses. You don't want to entertain the thoughts of having to play them in the first round. I will say that. But another thing people need to realize, they need to come out and maybe watch this. If Paintsville Ward advance, you got Kylie Kenner, you got Miley Riddle. If they are having tremendous seasons. I mean, as two of the best seasons anyone in the state of Kentucky, not just in the mountains or not in this area. They are 2 of the best players in the entire state of Kentucky. And I will be so disappointed. I will be surprised if they both don't make first team All-State.
Yeah, they're number 1. Well, you'll see that in a minute. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. While we're talking about volleyball, let's talk about our APSM Player of the Week. Miley Riddle in the district championship went crazy.
Yeah.
She averaged 12.33 kills a set. And 5.67 digs. She won Player of the Week. You see it right here, displaying on the stream between me and Ronnie. Great performance by her. Now let's talk about her up next. As you can see it, Lindy Gearhart had a great tournament as well, 9.14 assists. Let me move that over just a little bit. Lydia Wallace, 13 assists in the 58th district. Kylie Kenner, 7 kills, 13 assists for Talon Johnson during the 59th district. And Savannah Baldridge from Eastridge had
Tremendous
another
player.
great year, had another great week, 7.75 kills. So hats off to those ladies. So let's move on and look. We got a career award to mention out. We always like to give a little shout out to those 500 career kills. Did Carly May? She obtained that this week, the senior. Congrats to Carly. Now, we talked about kills. Remember, I almost let it slip. We put a graphic out earlier. Number 1 and number 2 and number 6 and number 12 in the state belong to the 15th region. Kills average per set. Miley Riddle at 7.33 kills. Then second is Kenner with 6.75.
Amazing.
Savannah Baldridge, we mentioned her earlier, 5.68 on the year. And then Jaden Jarrell from Betsy Lane, 5.01. 12th. So 4 of the top 12 in kills is right here in the 15th region and the APSN coverage area.
You know, Thomas, I equate that to, if this were basketball, if you're not a volleyball fan, that's like saying we got the number 1, 2, 6, and 12 leading scorers in the state, averaging 30 points a game.
You're exactly
Or
right.
we got the 1, 2, 6, and 12 leading rushers in the state of Kentucky, averaging almost 200 yards a game rushing. I mean, that's how impressive these young ladies are.
Absolutely, and we can't leave out assists. Talon Johnson, 8th in the state at 9.73. Lindy Gearhart broke into the top 30. She's at 29th.
Terrific player.
8.2. I think so too, man.
Yes.
I really
She
like
is
her game.
outstanding.
And I'm really liking Lydia Wallace over at Floyd Central. She moves up to 40th at 7.74. Kills per game. So a lot of volleyball action. We try to put those state leaders out every 3 weeks. You know, we did soccer one week. We would do volleyball week, and next week will be football to finish out the regular season this week. So we'll have our final regular season stat leaders for football next week. So,
you know, I'll say this: isn't it amazing? And I say that every year. Friday night is the last regular season games for football. The regular season is over.
It just seems like we started. We did our first game. Well, I mean, for us, we did our first game. Where was it? Right here. I think it was Shelby Valley or East Ridge was one of the first games. I think it was East Ridge was our first game early in the year.
East Ridge.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Hard to believe. So, ending up at Shelby Valley this week. So, let's talk a little football. And I mentioned him. Man, oh, man, did Kane Patton put on a show. 15 rushes, 189 yards, and 2 TDs. Not a bad night at the office.
No.
Against, he wasn't playing a low-caliber team. This was a battle for the district title.
Excellent point.
You know, a very good defense.
Yep.
But in Martin County, as the Black Cats came out 36-30, congrats to the Hurricane, Kane Patton. We always do the next up, and, you know, Devin Maynard, he didn't have a bad night, and I got to squint a little bit because this is a little smaller for me here. 20 of 34, 270 yards, 2 TDs, 23 rushes, 113 yards, and 3 TDs. I mean, hello.
Oh, gosh.
The only thing he didn't do was win. If he'd have won, he'd have probably been player of the week. I mean, he had another stat line. That's what I said, you know, people say, well, why did you pick this one and why'd you – listen, any one of these guys across through here on this list could have been –
I mean, you
could have been the player of the week.
Think about those stats like Devin Maynard. I mean, and maybe not win the player of the week with those kind of stats when he alone accounted for almost 400 yards in the game.
Yeah. Well, let's go with Keecher Mays, 20 of 34, 334 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, the game we did, Eli Jarrell, he just was 14 of 19, 188 yards. Well, all he threw for was 2 touchdowns. Oh, wait a minute, he rushed for 4 more.
Yeah.
So 6 touchdown performance by the freshman. And then in the same game, like I mentioned, Lane Adams, I'm sorry, Lane, I said you had 23 carries. You had 32 carries for 232 yards or 233 yards and 2 TDs.
Outstanding night. We watched him. I'm telling you, he put on a show.
Oh, he did. My goodness.
And so did Eli Jarrell.
Yeah. So what a great performance both of those guys put up. But then, you know, something we try to do here, and I'm a big fan of, because I believe those defensive guys, they never get any love, Ronnie. No. So we're going to give a little bit of love to the defensive guys. I should pull it up on my phone. It might be a little easier to see. Carlo Chinko, man, oh, man, oh, man, for Lawrence County, continued to do what Carlo Chico does. You know, he is just having a tremendous week. I cannot see, and I can't find the graphic. Let me see here. Hang on. I apologize. 13 tackles, I believe, he had. And then my duo from up there at Betsy Lane, Grant Tackett, my, oh, my. 19 tackles, Ronnie, 6 solo, 13 assisted, and he didn't get Defensive Player of the Week.
That's
Think about
tough.
that.
Oh,
You had
absolutely.
19 tackles. I mean, there's guys that don't have that in a season.
Yeah,
right?
most weeks that would win the defensive player of the game.
And then Mason Hall also had 13 tackles, 5 solo, and 8 assisted. But I won't show the graphic, and we'll post it tomorrow as soon as I get permission. Our defensive player did go to, and I'm going to say his name wrong,
No, you won't.
Michael Victorino.
Victoriano.
See, I told you I'd say it.
Michael Victoriano.
Victoriano, 21 tackles in the game this weekend. My, oh my, what a unbelievable performance by
absolutely.
him. So,
And more importantly, they won the game. That
Well,
I mean, 21 tackles.
you're exactly
and
right.
Victoriano, helped the victory. And like I say, that Phelps is on a winning streak right now. But if you're a football fan, you know what 21 tackles is. Now, let me say this. I never like to give my stats out, but I had 21 tackles. But like I say, it was over a 6 or 7 game period. But 21 in the game, I couldn't imagine that. Seriously, I mean, 21 tackles, but congratulations, that young man. Well deserving. And hats off, as we always say to the other guys. Hey, a lot of weeks, those stats would win our defensive player of the game.
Yep, absolutely. So, another great week, Ronnie. We got off to a little bit of rough start. I want to say that was all on me. I didn't plug the internet in, so I'll take the blame for that one. But listen, we got a great performance, and let me tell you what, it's a barn burner down there in Paintsville. Just saw from our friends from PRG. I don't know how long ago this was posted. 5 minutes ago, Paintsville won the first set, 25-22. Betsy Lane took the second set, 26-24. So should be a good one. Check out the WPRG updates as they're posting them. So, Ronnie, good week of sports.
It's been a good night, a lot going on. We try to cover a little bit of everything. If there's something you don't think we cover enough, we appreciate your comments. Whether they are good or bad, we appreciate you listening to everything.
Big drops tomorrow. We will be releasing our female soccer player of the year for the APSN coverage area. And listen, somebody said, well, you released the boys a couple weeks ago. Why haven't you released the girls? I didn't know. I mean, it was so tight. I've had 3 other people weigh in to try to help give the nod one way or another, because it could have went to 2 young ladies that just had 2 phenomenal seasons. But that'll drop tomorrow. We'll have Victor's photo out tomorrow as well. We will be releasing the boys soccer, either the boys all APSN team, either tomorrow or Friday morning. We're finalizing that post, and then we'll work on the girls over the weekend. A lot of stuff. When we said it, Ronnie, when we started this, people say, soccer? Why are you talking about soccer? Or volleyball? Why are you talking about volleyball? That's why we started APSN. Mm-hmm. Because everybody else turned a blind eye to those sports. And now they've got a voice, and I cannot thank the soccer moms, dads, players enough. They're still on there tuning in, watching, sharing stuff. So
yes.
Thank you for a new company just started. Big news, just crossed over 1,600 followers today. So a lot more positive stuff happening. So as I always say, don't forget, like and share. That's
Absolutely.
the thing, Ronnie. That's the way we do this. That's the way we continue to build this and continue to cover these other sports.
Well, that's going to take care of everything from the Shelby Valley Diner and the All Access Appalachian Prep Sports Network. We want to thank you, the fans, for tuning in. We love having you with us. You're part of the reason we do this. The other part is the outstanding young athletes, boys and girls that we cover. We thank our sponsors for making it possible for us to bring you these podcasts, these games. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. A lot of big announcements on the APSN network. Join us Friday night. We'll be at Shelby Valley for the Harlan County Black Bears taking on the Shelby Valley. That will be our last regular season game of the year. So that's going to take care of everything tonight. For executive producer Thomas Rainey and all of our sponsors, I'm Ronnie Newsom, wishing everyone a good evening.